Oh man, we're gonna have some fun today as we do a 3-in-1 review on these 3 knives that you're able to purchase for less than 50 bucks over at Walmart. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. I'm your host, Aaron, and we're continuing our series on best items and products that you can pick up at Walmart. You know, you're in a pinch, maybe you're heading out, you know, for the weekend for a camping trip or hiking or backpacking or whatever it may be. You totally forgot your knife, you know, or whatever this situation may be, and you got to run in and you got to get a reliable fixed blade that you can either use around camp. Maybe you're building out a bug out bag system and you just don't have online capability where you're at, you know, whatever the thing may be, and you're looking for kind of a compact survival tactical knife. That's kind of the formula, the system that we're going to be looking at today. All 3 of these knives are able to be purchased at Walmart. We're looking here at the Ontario. This one's going to be the cheapest, coming in at $40. Next up is the USA made Buck Mesa. This one's going to be about $45. And finally, the Gerber Prodigy is going to be coming in at about 50 bucks. We'll pump the brakes here. Got to share a quick piece of info that I just learned. I had gone out, purchased all 3 of these knives, done all the testing, done all the filming, was literally putting it together and discovered that the Gerber Prodigy is being discontinued. So when Walmart sells out of the Prodigy, they will not be replenishing the design because it will no longer be in service. So that is something I wanted to let you guys know. We're going to continue on with the video. I think there are a lot of really good data points. You're going to see all 3 of these knives in action. I do hope that they're just replacing this with the Gerber Strong Arm. We've reviewed this knife extensively. I have 3 of them. It's almost the exact same knife, still USA made, 420 high carbon, all the things you're going to see today. It actually just has a little bit larger, better handle in my opinion, and a slimmer, more modular sheath. So I hope that Gerber just replaces the Walmart stock of the Prodigy plain edge with the plain edge of the Gerber Strong Arm at that same price point of about $50. So I just wanted to let you guys know sometimes that happens. I hope you guys still enjoy this video, and those of you who can still get your hands on the Prodigy for 50 bucks, I think it's going to be well worth your time watching this video to see if it is the right tool for you out of all 3 knives that we're looking at today. So I hope you're as excited as I am to show you what these 3 knives can do and what really are the best tools that you can purchase for less than 50 bucks when you're looking for a compact fixed blade. And you got to pick it up right away over at Walmart. All right, so here are the 3 blades before us, all USA made, all under 50 bucks. Love that. So I'm going to run some basic specs for you. We're going to do a bunch of field testing, both with man-made materials as well as wilderness, you know, camping materials and wood and that type of stuff. So let me just give you some basic specs here. First off, we got the Ontario 599. This is 1095 steel, which initially, when I hear that, I'm like, yep, that's a great steel, particularly for the price point. The issue for me is that it's a low Rockwell of 50 to 55. That's the hardness of the steel, which means that it's super tough and durable, but it's going to dull on you pretty quick. It's also really easy to field sharpen. Again, a positive, but it's just going to not hold its edge as well as, say, normal 1095, which is usually heat treated to like 55 to 57 Rockwell. So that's just something to consider, something to be aware of. Now, this guy is going to be about 5 inches. All these are going to be about 5 inches long with an actual cutting edge of like, you know, 4.5 inches. It's got a very low saber grind. It's going to be 0.18 or 3/16 of an inch thick with a tang that goes all the way through back down to the pommel back here. Next up is the Gerber, again, USA made, made out of 420 high carbon. It's a decent steel. It's going to need to be resharpened pretty frequently. This actually has a higher Rockwell of like 55 to 57 than the Ontario, so this technically will hold a little bit of a better edge is what I'm finding than the Ontario will. It just means that it's a little bit harder steel, rather rust resistant. It's going to have a saber grind as well. It's going to be a full tang all the way through with that enclosed rubberized and then hard glass reinforced nylon all the way through there. 90-degree spine. All 3 of these are going to have 90-degree spines to throw sparks, and then this is going to be also 3/16 of an inch thick. And finally, we do have the USA made 420 high carbon Buck Mesa. Now again, about 5 inches on the blade length, about 4.5 on the cutting edge. This one though is an exposed tang, full tang, which means technically it would be the strongest of all 3 that we're seeing here with handle scales, micarta handle scales on the sides here. And what we're looking at is a thinner blade at 0.13 back here and then tapering down real quick, so much thinner, which means it's also going to be lighter weight. And then 420 high carbon, again, same as the Gerber, but a little bit higher Rockwell. Buck usually does it around 59, which means it'll hold its edge a little bit longer. It tends to be a little bit more brittle, so that's something to consider, with a slight recurve in there. nice clip point, but a hollow grind. So thinner blade, hollow grind usually means that it will be a better slicer, but usually means that sacrificing that slicing capability for a little bit of strength. So that's something to consider as we look at these blades. Now that we've kind of hit these all real quick and gone through them, let's go ahead and get out into the woods. We're going to do a bunch of the same tasks with all three knives to see which knives perform the best when you're out in the woods, like on a camping trip, or if you needed to do some triggers and traps and make some spears. Making a spear tip and a notch with the Ontario. There we go. Very fatiguing, took quite a long time with it not really removing a lot of wood with each slice. Okay, Gerber Prodigy, just hacked off the tip, so exact same piece of wood. Let's see if this is any better. Oh, noticeably better. Removing way more per slice. Way faster on the same piece of wood with the Gerber, just got better edge geometry. Okay, so just did that with the Gerber, all using the same piece of wood, so we're getting the same, material. I'm just gonna flip it over, do it on this side with the buck. Ooh, nice. Nice. This is by far the best slicer for this type of stuff. It's just because of the thinner blade, the hollow grind, just makes for easier edge geometry, easier work. And it's just flying through this wood. More precise cuts as well. So buck, definitely awesome, easily able to do that. Okay, so now on the same piece of wood, we're gonna do notching, starting out with the Ontario. Rough. Those teeth on the back spine make it very hard to do a push cut, and the grind angle is so big. I'm gonna be here all day trying to do this. Ugh, the wide grind angle. Yeah, good luck trying to do a notch with that. So we'll go to round 2 and use the back saw back here and do a notch that way. So saw back pretty quick, gave me a really good notch, could easily fit paracord and that type of thing. So if you're gonna do notching, definitely wanna use the saw back a lot quicker than trying to use the edge geometry because of how wide that grind angle is. Okay, so same piece of wood, just broke off where that notch was right there with the Ontario. Now we're gonna use the Gerber, see if this one does a little bit better. Oh yeah. That non-aggressive spine, nice and wide, easily to put my thumb on. It's not biting in like the Ontario was. And the edge geometry is definitely removing wood quicker and easier. There you go. Super easy with the Gerber, very comfortable as well. Now the saw could do it almost as fast on the Ontario, but you got to saw with it. The edge won't do it. The edge will do it with the Gerber, meaning it's just got better edge geometry. Okay, here we are with the buck, final go. Let's see how this guy does. Nice. Really good. Again, it's just geometry, man. If you put a high hollow grind on a thin blade, this type of stuff, it's gonna do well. Those other two knives have saber grinds and are thicker. There you go. Made short work of that. Buck did awesome making that notch. Okay, feather sticks. You got to be able to curl some. Using the Ontario. Okay, it's doing all right. I think the other two knives are gonna do way better just because of what we've seen so far. This looks more like pencil shavings than really nice fine curls. So it would be doable, but this is not what I look for in a knife when I'm looking for a feather stick maker. Right away, noticeably better curls. You can see there, they're staying on. I can control it more. They're much longer. Way better. Easily could light this. Much more difficult with the other one. A lot less work, a lot less fatigue on my hand making something like that. Okay, final feather stick making with the buck. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Awesome. Sweet. Buck is the best feather stick maker for sure. So there you have it. You've seen the woods processing. The Ontario did not do very well out in the woods at all, just because of the very short saber grind and the thicker blade. The Gerber did rather well, kind of a jack of all trades, and then the Buck did the best with slicing, feather stick making, and notching, just because of the high hollow grind and the thinner blade. So now let's transition. Let's do a bunch of paracord, nylon rope, seat belt, rubber, and just see how these blades perform in that capacity. It literally will not go. It won't do it. Bad. So there you have it. Very similar expectations that based off of what we saw out in the woods. The Ontario couldn't even cut the rubber. This is the first knife out of every knife that I've tested with that rubber that it could not cut it, just because of how wide that saber grind is. I just keep coming back to that. And then the Gerber did really well with all the paracord nylon rope, and then did decent with the rubber. And then again, the thinner the blade, the higher the grind, and the hollower the grind, if you will, the finer cutting it's going to be able to do. The Buck just did amazing slicing through everything. So based off of all that testing, when it comes to the blade side of things, the Ontario just not really impressing me. You're going to have to take hours and hours to basically reprofile the entire blade and bring that grind up much higher to get better performance out of it. The Gerber is kind of my jack of all trades in its blade performance. It's good. It's not great at any one thing. And then the Buck is going to be the best slicer, fine cutter, but it is going to sacrifice that capability with strength and durability over really hard, like prying, stabbing, and batoning, and just really harder abuse. That's where you would not see the Buck being as proficient. So we're going to blast through the handle ergonomics real fast for you. We got stacked leather with an enclosed tang on the Ontario with a butt cap, steel butt cap on the end here. We have an enclosed tang with glass reinforced nylon and rubber on the Gerber. And then we have that exposed tang with micarta handle scales that can be tightened or loosened on the Buck. The short of it is the most ergonomic handle is going to be the Gerber. It just feels the best in the hand. I wear large size gloves, as many of you guys know. I still got plenty of real estate off the back there, but as I was saying with the strong arm just a moment ago, it's a little bit shorter and with about 4 inches from guard to back hook, if you will, right here. And then we got the Buck, I would say would be the second most ergonomic with those handle scales. You know, just feels really warm to the touch. Good real estate with my large size hands to work with. No real hot spots, and no real hot spots on the Ontario, and plenty of, you know, places to work around and that type of thing. The main issue for me is this really sharp, very large. It's the largest guard that you have to work with. You know, if you're wanting to do any sort of like reaching over, the guard starts biting into your hand. It's all metal, so it's biting into your hand, you know, if you're bearing down and doing some sort of cutting, and just isn't as ergonomic or comfortable as these other two, and the best ergonomics is going to be on the Gerber. So let's look at the 3 sheaths here. We'll start with the Buck, which actually has a really nice polymer minimalistic ambidextrous sheath. So it's a form of plastic. It's not Kydex, but you got some lashing points here. You got a really nice drainage hole, good thumb ramp release right there. Even has a retention screw, which is really nice. So you can kind of choose how much retention you want on the knife, and it is ambidextrous with this little screw right here. You unscrew it, you remove the plate. This is on the left just to kind of show you guys, and I'll be rolling in some footage. And then you just got this little slit belt loop attachment, and it rides pretty low on the belt. So you know, for the price point, and if you're looking for really slim, minimalistic, not a lot of weight, this is actually a really good option, good retention, and gives you some options for ambidextrous carry as well. Not really digging this Ontario leather sheath. Now again, it's been around for a long time, seen lots of use over the years. Well made. It's just, it doesn't do it for me. We do have a little whetstone in here to resharpen your tools with, which is nice. Good stitching. You have a piece of plastic that's bolted in here, and then down and around the back side around the knife, basically just going to give it some extra resistance. Bolted in, nice leather. You got a good retention strap here with a button. You have a very large, you know, belt attachment you can run, you know, different things through. But you can see that the blade is kind of sticking up. It's ambidextrous, but it's really, and I just hit the camera there, it's really tight. Now over time that would open up and, you know, kind of loosen up a little bit, but there's really not a lot of lashing options. It's pretty bulky, and just doesn't really do it for me. It's okay, it's decent, but it's not my first choice of the knives before us. And for me, I'm an options guy. I like as many options as possible, and I believe that the Gerber Prodigy is offering that. Now we have this heavy-duty nylon built on with MOLLE compatibility, and it is screwed on to this polymer piece right here, velcroed through, all completely removable except for this last tab. If you did want to completely unscrew this and just use the polymer piece, which you could absolutely do, you would have to cut this little strap off. You could still, you know, re-screw it back on and reattach it with the Velcro. It just wouldn't have this third retention down here. I don't think it would ruin the sheath in any way, but very similar to the LMF sheath, because then up here we have not only 2 button snaps, which is great. So this has 3 retention points. So this is technically jump ready, which is really nice, you know, for military use. Huge belt loop here. Really nice to see that. I mean, you could run a 2-inch tactical belt through there. Does come even with a leg strap as well. And then you unsnap these, and it's kind of a rubber polymer, very tough, durable, latches and has retention there because it's not going to fall if you hold it upside down. Zero rattle, ambidextrous. You just push off, snap it in the other way. So totally dig that. Great sheath system with tons of capability. So let's wrap this up by giving you my final thoughts. First off, just with everything I've seen with the Ontario 599, just not impressed, you know, for the $40 price point, even though it's the cheapest and that might be, you know, friendly to the pocketbook. To me, I'm just not going to get the type of performance that I expect out of a knife of this size. So I would say ditch it, don't bother. Now, as we come to these 2 knives, I believe that each one of them wins out in certain aspects. If you are going out for a camping trip or some sort of like woods, you know, backpacking, you know, that type of a thing, hiking, and you're looking for that lightweight, compact fixed blade, I think it's the Buck. It's lightweight. It comes with a great little polymer sheath. It's razor sharp, really nice fine edge. It's nice and thin. It's not going to weigh down your pack, and it's going to be great at like food processing and, you know, food prep, so making your dinners and that type of thing. Cutting through cord, ripping through it, super easy, and it's going to be really good at making feather sticks to help you start fires. It's got that 90-degree spine, you know, and notching, triggers, traps, all that type of stuff. This thing is awesome, and it's going to do a great job for those types of tasks. But if you're looking for more of like a survival knife to throw in a bug out bag, go bag, you know, you're going to be doing more, you know, just heavier, harder tasks that you're not really worried about super fine cutting, I believe the Gerber Prodigy is the way to go. It's going to be the most ergonomic. It still has the same type of steel, the 420 high carbon that the Buck does, USA made, full tang through, you know, all the way through, so still got that strength and durability. Or you're looking at maybe putting on like, you're just on a tight budget, you know, on an LBE system, you know, for a run and gun, and, you know, you want it on your rig and that type of thing. Or for people that you're kind of new to knives and you need something that's really tough and durable, because this is much thicker and has a saber grind. It's less likely that you're going to chip and damage the blade, or, you know, possibly snap it. This has a much thinner tip, which is great for fine stuff, but not great for super hard prying and stabbing tasks. So that's where I believe the Prodigy might be the better option, and this would be the knife that I would throw in a go bag or a get home bag, or some sort of survival kit. The Prodigy would be the knife that I would choose. So there you have it, folks. Thanks so much for coming over here today and checking out this channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. I hope this video has just really helped you out, pointing you in the right direction when you got less than 50 bucks to spend and you're looking for a fixed blade over at Walmart to give as gifts, to, you know, supplement a system that maybe you forgot a knife and you're going out for a week on a camping trip and you just got to pop into a Walmart and pick up whatever they got. I hope this video is pointing you in the right direction, what will be the best compact fixed blades for you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video as well. That's a great way to see what's up and coming. You know, we're throwing up videos every single week, so you can see the little icon, watch the next video popping up right now. And finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.